Good morning. We're going to paint this beautiful, this really fun red truck. Everybody loves trucks. This one is at Russell Orchards in Ipswich, and which is a wonderful place to paint if you want to go plein air painting. Great, and they have the most amazing cider donuts in the world. Just unbelievable. All right, so you establish when you're drawing first. Establish the width of, I'm doing the front here. You can go with anything, but you have to establish what I call the first truth, so that everything is going to be relative to this size. All right, everything is related to this size, and that's the width of the front of the truck. Okay, I'm putting, there's a little sort of a band around the front of the truck. Okay, there's the headlight. I'm just guessing at the placement there, and you can see that one's too small, and the middle of the front of the truck, it goes through the face of the truck. The middle of it goes right through that headlight. So I'm just doing a little sketch here of the inside of that the front of the truck. Okay, just little, nothing important, just little, little notations of where different apparatus are inside there. Okay, up here we have this beautiful piece of light. The light is everything on this truck. Very, very important. Okay, so there's the little curve on the first bumper. That's on the fender, really. And then there's the, you can see I'm way too high there. That's the hood of the truck, roughly there. That even looks a little high, but there's a dark, that's the shadow area, the lines, the shadow lines. All right, look at the alignment of the, where the windshield comes down and meets the truck, and how does that line up? When you're drawing, I've said this many times, you need to look at everything in a grid. You want to see everything in a grid. How does one point line up with another? And that will really help you to draw well. You can see I had several attempts here at the top. I'm going to erase that. All right, I kept going a little bit too high there. All right. Things may look a little bit askew because of the tilt of my board here, but all right, there's the back of the truck. See how everything's lining up? The corner of that bumper is lining up with sort of the 3/4 point on the windshield. That's straight. There's the back fender coming down. Putting in the wheel, the fender. The wheel, the wheels are round, but you're looking at them from the side, so they're ellipse, the ellipse of that hubcap. And there's the right fender, the front fender. It's so dark in there. It's really beautiful. It's so, so dark. So there's the corner of the fender. I moved it in a little. I think it doesn't look right to me either, but it would be fine when I paint it. When you're drawing to paint, it's not, you do the best you can do, but it's not, you don't need to be as accurate as if you're doing a rendering. It's all fun. Enjoy it, don't beat yourself up. Little ellipse hubcap on that tire. piece of light under that, near that wheel. That's very important. You want to keep that. So. All right. Good chance to go back and check everything. Get an idea where you're going with this. A little window inside, the rear window. All right. So that looks pretty good. All right. There's a little Ford symbol on the front. I don't know what year truck this is. It looks like a 40s, maybe 50s. All right, there's a house, there's a building in the back, and I'm just going to be there's a pump, there's a gas pump beside it, which is a lot of fun. I'm going to be very loose with the background stuff. I want it to be very simple. I don't want anything to compete with the truck, so I'm just going to fill it in carefully. All right, there's a house in the back there. I'm going to put another small one over here, and the rest I'll just fill in with some trees and leaves. Okay, let's paint this beautiful red truck. All right, I'm going to start very simply. What I'm going to do here is just paint the back. I'm going to paint the background and everything on the truck that's in shadow, and just leave the light so that you can get a sense. There's a lot of different ways, obviously, to paint anything, but I want you to see this is a really simple approach, but it gives you a chance to see the light on the truck, the way the light is hitting the truck, and if you have it, you can correct it here. This is all background stuff that I'm doing right now. I put a little bit of Aurelian yellow up in that left-hand corner. That's the sky, and it's very bright and light, so I wanted to let the light in there. So the rest, I'm just going to paint it. This is ultramarine blue. I'm just going to be very simple with it, but it's a good approach, and it's a simple approach. And I want you to think about this, and it'll really help you to simplify the whole thing. That makes it look, takes all the mystery out of it. Okay. All right, that's that red pump that's on next to the truck, the way the light is hitting it. Okay. All right, this is all the background now. There's some buildings in the background, and there's a fence. This is that fence. The fence is in shadow as well, and that's all approaching the truck. All right, now I'm going to paint the truck itself, and just the shadow on the truck. Everything that's in shadow will be painted this ultramarine blue. This really gives you a chance to see what's going on with the light, and make sure you're really capturing that light. Everything in the truck will be painted, all the shadow, I should say, all the shadow of that truck will be painted ultramarine here, except the light. The light will remain white. Really gives you a chance to see the form, All right, now we have a beautiful dark shadow here underneath the truck. See that little triangle of light next to the wheel? It's really beautiful. It's so important. There's a shadow on the pump, and there's a shadow on the ground, which is great. Right, there's a shadow inside. I'm just going to put a little bit of color in there. Get rid of the white. Now the left side of that window has got a lot of light on it, so I'll just leave that. All right, now what I'm going to do is paint the whole truck a very light red. This is cadmium red, very light. So I'm painting everything but the light again. Go right over the shadow and the whole thing. All right, so you don't want to paint the headlights and all that, but there's a big grill area that's sort of raw sienna that we'll leave alone right now, but we'll paint the red. Okay. All right, now we can get into, is it black? The black on the truck. So that's the light red. That's the light hitting that light red. Now we're going to paint the black on the truck. There's a sort of a rim around the grille area, and the bumper itself is very dark black. Can't see too much where it ends there and what's going on, but tire. I'll come back down there. It's all in shadow. Right, these are just, there's some holes in the grill. I'm just going to do a little bit of detail up there in the grill area while I'm there. And these are basically holes in the grill, so it's very dark, very black. Okay. And we'll come back to that. It'll be the dark on the headlights. This is the side of the fender. So you can't see the end of the bumper. It's so dark it ties into the wheel. There's a little bit of light hitting that hubcap. Try to save some of that. There's a running board. An old running board you step on when you get into the car. I get the tire. The tire is going to line up with the other tire. So there's the fender. The fender's black. I'm adding some cobalt blue here because this is the sun is hitting the edge of that fender. And the black looks a little blue there in the sunlight, so same kind of thing. This is all inside the fender and the tire. Same thing. Okay. Okay, there's the rear wheel. Same thing, got a little bit of light on the hubcap. So you can see the blue, the light is hitting the black fender and turning it blue. So, all right, underneath the truck, I'm really using black. That's ultramarine mixed with raw quin sienna. And then as it comes out from the truck, it's basically just ultramarine mixing with that black, and I'm just letting it run. But you can see now it really helps to sit the truck down onto the ground. Let that shadow go right out. Very light red on the front of that pump. And just paint the whole pump. All right. All right, I'm going back now on the red, and this is cad red mixed with ultramarine. And on the front is very. We're going to pump the red up in the front so that the truck will come forward. You know, so the front of the truck looks like it's coming. There you go. So we're adding some cad red into that, and that'll dry lighter, but that brings the front of the truck forward for us nicely. Okay. And I added some ultramarine to the red here, so it's more of a deep violet. That's a little dark right now, but I'm going to go back and as I mix it, it'll get lighter. But that whole side of the truck is really a deep violet. You know, it's red and blue. You can see the difference, and you mix them together, so you really can't see it. A little bit of raw sienna in the grill here, in the grill work underneath, around the headlights. You can see as it dries, it looks good. All right, this is just a dark red, ultramarine, and cad red for the side of the pump. I added some bright cad red for the front, and then added water on the edge there. Loosen it up. It's coming down. We'll cover that again with the shadow. Putting a little shadow on that spillage, and it's the bottom of the pump. Right, there's an area inside that's above the rear window that you can see through the front window, so it makes that a little bit tighter. Always fun. Trucks are always fun to paint and to draw. You know, you complain about the drawing, but it's really the basis of everything. You know, you really need to really hone your drawing skills and make them great. If you want to put that, there's a little insignia, a little sign that says Russell Farms. I'm just putting a little, lifting out. Okay, I'm going to get into the background now. Just very simple, you know, I'm just going to paint that, paint the building back there. I want to get some darks in there and really offset the truck nicely with a dark background. I just mixed up dark red with the ultramarine, and putting a little blue on the roof. A shadow underneath, popped in a window. Just keeping it very simple. There's another, adding a little house. I'm making this up as I go along, so you can do the same thing. I don't like the yellow, you know, that's in the photograph. That yellow is, to me, the yellow-green, it's too acidy. It doesn't work with the red and blue scheme of the truck and the, you know, the shadow in the background. All that, to me, it doesn't work. But so I mixed up some raw sienna here with the blue, and just making a suggestion of some trees in the background. And so that's raw sienna mixed with some ultramarine. I'm going to have this tree come in front of that little house. Just a suggestion, you know. You don't need a lot. You don't want it to be too busy, and have it come behind that house. Paint the little grass area. Okay. And notice I'm putting a little red on the ground here, and a lot of water. Let it run down, and let it just sort of let that red truck reflect onto the ground below it. It's a nice touch. Going in one more time with a darker color in the front of the truck, just in the face there. I want that face to come forward even more. Once it dries, it looked a little weak, so this will really help to bring that forward. Okay. All right. Always fun to paint trucks, and we're going to do a tractor next. That's on at Russell Farms as well. That's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again very soon.